Welcome back to Retro Rewire. My name is JJ. We're back at the Oyama Tochigi Surugaya. This is part 3, and we're going to dive in deep here into the retro display case. And once again, I want to thank the management and staff here for allowing me to film and then kind of opening the glass doors so we can get a closer look. And that Neo Geo AES at 40,000 yen, not too bad. Now here we have this Game Boy Light. Haven't seen one of those before. Super expensive, that one. And then next to that we have this Koropata for 64,000 yen. Haven't heard of that one either, and it's pretty pricey. And then here we have quite a bit, a lot of stuff that is really desirable, like this here, this Dracula X Symphony of the Night for the Sega Saturn, and I actually ended up picking that one up. If you want to check out part 1, you can learn the tale there. But let's just go ahead and continue on. They do have Castlevania there for the Famicom for 30,000 yen, and that one was the edition that was released on the cart. And then here, tucked away, we have Metroid Fusion for 11,800 yen. And then we have Metal Black. Not sure what the game on the left there is, but looks a little interesting. And then we have Golden Axe 3 alongside that Castlevania. Not sure what this one is, at 61,500 yen, holy cow. And then we have this PC Engine wireless controller for 21,800. I haven't seen that before, and that thing is actually pretty cool. Kind of interesting that it was released for the PC Engine. All sorts of good stuff on that system. Then we're gonna keep making our way here, see what other goodies we could find. I'm telling you guys, this thing was freaking loaded. We have a Wonder Swan there, and then we have East for 22,000 for the PS2 next to some kind of mecha game there. And then we have Ninja Spirit for 8,800 yen. I definitely want to pick a copy of this up sometime in the future. I'm freaking loving the PC Engine Duo R that I picked up at this very location. Then we have some Star Wars and the Fireman there. And Time Gallon. Then in the back, I believe that's Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter for 10,000 yen. And then we have a Castlevania game. And then this game here has a freaking awesome cover. This Legend of, what is that? Gordic for 14,600 yen. And then a couple of loose hue cards. That Final Soldier, not too bad of a price there. And then here we have some loose cards there. We have the girl side second and third story. Those are kind of pricey there for the DS. And later on, you will see that they do have them in the boxed, complete in box. And then we have the Neo Geo Pocket for 22,000 yen. Now that's the solid silver one. And we'll get to the other side, don't you worry. So let's just go ahead and keep on with this side that we're on. We have Strange Journey here. This is the 3DS version. This is the limited edition. I have the OG one for the regular DS. And then we have the Mega CD 2 for 9,000 yen. Now that's pretty cheap for this. Now the reason why it's so cheap is that it's untested and there's no warranty, so it's considered as junk. And then we have the core graphics down there. But then in the back we have the Super CD ROM for 37,800 yen. It is missing a manual and a DC cable, but it has the box. And then we have this the PC Engine GT. Now this one is a damaged box and a missing manual and strap for 50,000 yen. But that's definitely a collector's item, although I hear the capacitors often fail on those. And then we have an N64 that seems to be discolored, but it seems to include everything. And then in the back we have, what do we have there? A Game Boy Color, a couple of Game Boy Colors there. And then we have a Club Nintendo pin set for 900 yen. That's actually a collector's item, and I was meaning to pick that one up, but in my excitement for the things that I got, I completely forgot all about it. And then back here to this core graphics. Now this thing is pretty clean at 10,800 yen. I actually have one of those, but I'm probably going to be selling it off. And then we have another Mega CD 2. Those Mega CD 2s, man, definitely they have me thinking, you know. The Mega CD is definitely has a few games that I would like to get, and I think I maybe that was a missed opportunity. Maybe the next time I go they'll be gone. But anyhow, let's go ahead and continue with the next side here. We have Zedia for the Xbox 360. And now this is a game that I often see at many locations, and it's always pricey. I'm not really sure what the deal is. But then we have those girls side games there in the complete in the box, and then a couple of Dreamcast games with JoJo for the matching service in the back. That Metroid for the Game Boy 2100, that's actually a pretty good price. As is this Demon's Crest for the Super Famicom, coming in at 5,100 yen. Usually that game is a bit more expensive, especially if it's complete in the box. And then we have Super Smash TV for 2,000 yen. That's not bad. And we have a Game Boy player here, kind of tucked away, for 5,800 yen, next to Castlevania Legends, and then Shin Megami Tensei Apocalypse, and Two Crude Dudes way back there. Look at that funky cover. This location had so many great stuff, like this, The Legend of Zelda. Look at the condition of this. This is freaking like mid 80s, and it's coming in at 12,000 yen. That's definitely a collector's item. And then in the back, clear in the back, we have Rocket Knight Adventures 2, a little bit of discoloration. And then the final stage 3, the Sega Classics, that one skyrocketed in price. It really jumped up. I'm glad I picked it up like years ago. Definitely worth it, that collection. But they are available digitally as standalone titles, but I'm not sure if the 3DS eShop is still up. But man, oh man, that Castlevania Legends, 12,600 yen. I definitely want to get as many Castlevania games as possible, and that one's definitely on my radar. And then we have the Summer Carnival 92, 79,500 yen. I believe that's also available on the PC Engine, and it's just as expensive. We got a Game Boy Advance there, discolored manual, and a scratch screen. Then we have Groove On Fight. And then a couple of Wonder Swan titles. Now those are some heavy hitters. We have Klonoa and Mega Man and Bass, I believe. A couple of Mega Drive games. And then in the back we have Biohazard Gaiden next to the Game Boy Advance player, the controller by Hori. Definitely cool to see that. Then we have the arcade card for the PC Engine. And a Game Boy Micro. Not sure what that big box is there, like Melty Blood. And behind that we have PC Engine. A lot of good stuff. And then Alien Soldier, look at this. 50,500 yen. Freaking awesome. And then we have Rad Guy. Now, you know, look at this cover. I don't know if the main guy is like the villain or the hero. Kind of hard to tell. Looks like he's kidnapping that little kid. Then we have a Game Boy player disc, and then we have 80,000 for that Mother 3 collector's box. And then we have a Duo RX. Seems to be a little bit dirty, but as far as I can tell, that's pretty clean. A lot of good stuff, man. This display case was really impressive. There was a number of things that I could have easily spent like $1,000, maybe more. But we got to maintain control. Oh man, and then up above a 32X, a Duo R, and a boxed Mega CD 2. And you know, definitely this Game Boy Light is the most expensive item that they have, and probably one of the rarest. First time seeing one of those. But this takes top price for me, this Neo Geo AES. I'm gonna get one, mark my words. Anyhow, let's go ahead and go down the main retro gaming aisle and check out a few of the good wares that they have in stock. And we're gonna start up here on the top shelf. We have all sorts of gaming knickknacks, and the one that really stands out to me is gonna be this here, this HSS0136 arcade stick for the Sega Saturn. Now you can't really see the price, but it's coming in at about 9,000 yen. And then there we have like the Virtua Cop, the Sega Stunner, and another, the lower end arcade stick, and then Super Famicom. Quite a bit of stuff here. And then this is kind of interesting here. This Garo Densetsu 2. As you can see, Terry Bogart's hat said Fatal Fury. On this side, it says Neo Geo. That's kind of interesting there. And 900 yen, that isn't too bad of a price. And then here we have the OG one for 1,400 yen. I recently picked up both of those loose cards and I paid about 100 yen each. Then Captain Tsubasa 3. Don't really know too much about that one. And then we're just going to make our way here onto Super Metroid. Now this is coming in at 6,150. Now keep in mind that this one, as well as the North American edition, both of those offer English and Japanese language options. And then not sure what this one is here, but I do like a floating island. That's always going to be interesting, especially with the role-playing fantasy type of adventure by Hudson Soft there. And then we have Secret of Mana 3. Now I do have this one, but I have the one on the Nintendo Switch. But at 1,000 yen, that's actually a pretty good like a little collector's piece, a little showpiece for the game room. And the box is actually not in too bad of a shape. And definitely cool artwork on that one. I also would like to try out Trials of Mana, which I believe could be a remake. I could be wrong on that, but anyhow, let's just continue on here. What do we have here? Muscle Bomber for 3,200 yen. Definitely an interesting title, and look at this dude just bulging. And then we have Final Fight 2, two copies here. One's 1,800 and the other one is 2,700. A little bit of a difference there. But let's just go ahead and go towards the end and focus on some PlayStation 1 titles. Now this section is pretty small, but they do have some heavy hitters here. And the one thing that I do like about this particular Surugaya is they are loaded with all things Castlevania. Here we have Symphony of the Night for 6,000 yen, and then Castlevania Chronicles there. And then an assortment of games here. We have a few Rockman games, Metal Slug X, and then some fighting games like this Bloody Roar. Now this one I was meaning to pick up. They actually had another copy for 700 yen, and this is one that has been on my radar for quite some time. And like a fool, I completely forgot. But it's all good. It'll happen one day, sooner or later. And then here we have, this is SNK versus Capcom. EX Pro, I believe. I used to have this, and it actually isn't too bad, but if you have the Dreamcast one, that's definitely going to be the better option. Although I do like the low fidelity resolution on the PlayStation 1 version. And then we have this little oddity. Look at that. It has like a little rainbow there. And that's usually like the tag indicating like what kind of game it is for Capcom games, and this is like a mystery adventure game. And then we have this shooter. I forget the name of this series. I'll have to put a little banner down below, but this is one that I've been wanting for quite some time. It's a shooter, but I definitely want it with the spine card, the little Obi card. And it's hard to tell whether these include it or not. And then here's the sequel coming in at 8,000 yen. I'm surprised that this one isn't in the display case. But one day I'm going to get me both of those. They do look pretty cool. Good old PlayStation. But anyhow, let's go ahead and check on the other side. We have some Nintendo 64. Now, I recently was gifted a Nintendo 64 from a friend. And I'm back on the N64. Been gaming on that thing for the last few days. And then just below that, we have an assortment of handheld games here, or Famicom games. And then we have a few Dreamcast games. Now these I'm just going to skim over because otherwise this video would be so long. In fact, we're going to have part 4. But I will show this one, this Sega Mark III. Now look at that cover. Freaking awesome. Now this is a game that I usually do see. 1987 vintage, wow. But this is a game that I often see, and usually it has the little figure piece. And then we have Mappy. Now I do like this game, Mappy. It's kind of fun. And what do we have? Some WarioWare games for the Advance and a couple other Famicom Mini Advance games there. And then before we look at the Sega Saturn, let's go ahead and look at the Mega Drive. We'll just quickly look things over here. And the one game that really stands out to me, and probably the one with the most interesting cover out of all of these, is going to be Curse. Now this is a shooter. And look at that beautiful cover. I actually haven't played this before, but I definitely would like to try it out. I hear it has pretty good music. although I hear it is a little bit easier, especially for experienced shooter gamers. And then we have Outrun. That's also a freaking awesome cover, coming in at 5,600 yen. A lot of good stuff for the Mega Drive here. And it's kind of interesting that some of the boxes are freaking tiny. And then we have, what is this, Musha for the Sega CD. Look at that, just kind of hiding out. Maybe somebody put it there, I don't know. Well, obviously somebody put it there, but maybe they're trying to hide it. Coming in at 8,000 yen. And then look at that cover. The most famous hedgehog. That's absolutely true. And then Sega Saturn games. They had quite a bit here too. And they had definitely more than I'm going to be showing you guys. But look, we have Night Strikers S. This is one that I would definitely like to play. But I will pick that up, but I'm probably going to get the PlayStation version as it's way, way cheaper. And then here, Sengoku Blade. Now, this one, 8,300 yen. Usually it's like a lot more expensive. So I was surprised that it was at that price. And then we have Sonic Wings Special coming in at 6,200. That's about average. You could probably find it a little bit lower depending, more or less, but... And then we have a Gale Racer for 1,500, and that's where Sonic makes his first appearance. And then feel free to pause here if you just want to take a look at the spine cards. A lot of good Sega Saturn stuff. And you know what? I'm almost at peak Sega Saturn for my collection. There's only a few more titles that I want, and then I'm pretty much going to be satisfied with what I have. In fact, there's a few titles that I can get rid of. So I'm in a pretty good state for my Sega Saturn collection. But yeah, a lot of interesting ones. In fact, there's a few of them, like a few of the role-playing games that have been going up in price. Like, not this one, Gun Griffin 2 coming in at 4,000. That one actually supports the MPEG card. And then we have 3 Dirty Dwarves. I've played this, but I've only played the demo on the Sega Screams Volume 1 disc that was released in North America. That was the only taste that I ever got to see of this game. Although I remember seeing this game at a Kmart. And from what I remember in the demo, it's actually pretty cool. Had a good time playing that demo. But going back to the role-playing games, this is kind of like an action RPG, I guess. Guardian Heroes coming in at 5,200. Now, this game used to be like 500 yen, 1,000 yen, but that one just kind of jumped up in price. And it's also available on the Xbox shop. And we had Phantasy Star there. And then a few 3DO games. We have Madden here. Now, I should have picked this up, 1,200. I regret not getting this one. Next time I see it, if it's decently priced, I'm definitely going to pick that up. But anyhow, guys, for the next episode, it'll be the final part for this Oyama Surugaya. We're going to have PC Engine, PS2, Xbox, Neo Geo, and a few other titles. But anyhow, thank you for watching Retro Rewire. My name is JJ, and I hope to see you soon. Ciao.